Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler reviews, series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks. There we go. I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I am kind of excited for this one, but we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, oh yeah, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? That happens to be my Boom! My brand new Kitty shirt. It's a very cool design. I like it a lot. If you're unfamiliar with the band Kitty, they are an all-girl, super badass metal band that came out during the late 90s from our neighbors to the north in Canada. Definitely one of their greatest exports. I could have, it's one of those unfortunate things where I actually didn't get into Kitty really properly until a few years ago. I could have been an early adopter though, because when I first saw their first music videos for their song Brackish, and I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. They played it on MTV back in them bar days, and I could have been into it. But, I was a shitty kid with no money, so, it wasn't like I could just go out and buy any CD I wanted. And I kind of just didn't, and then it just sort of passed me by. But I was really fortunate in 2024, the year that I'm currently in. They've really had like an awesome resurgence. They've actually had their highest charting single this year, which is super cool. And I got to see them perform live. It was like the first time they'd played Illinois in like 13 years. I got to see them. I actually went over there and got some videos of their performance. It's on the channel as well, just in case, or they're on the channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, be more than happy to point you in the right direction, because I think they're an incredible band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, I just got through reviewing some Boom Mango Lemonade from a place called Charleys Cheesesteaks. And folks, you better believe if I went to Charleys Cheesesteaks, I got a cheesesteak. In fact, I've actually reviewed a number of cheesesteaks from Charleys Cheesesteaks. But what cheesesteak is it today, folks? It's Boom! It's the old school, which, I have their menu here. Takeout menu. The old school consists of, it's an extra portion of steak, signature cheese whiz sauce, ooh, and sauteed onions, ooh. Now, folks, this is a cheesesteak review, but for all intents and purposes, I'm considering it a sub sandwich review. What with it being a sub sandwich review, I do have to preface this review with three things real quick. Number one being that for over 2 years, probably over 3 now, I'd have to check, I've been going on sub sandwich adventures. What that means is I've been going out to basically every place that sells sub sandwiches, been trying them out, reviewing them, putting them onto my YouTube channel, and that's where number 2 comes into play, because I'm such a nice guy, I don't just put them onto my YouTube channel. I actually have an entire playlist called Subs for Subs, which is a playlist for just my sub sandwich reviews. I go over there when I'm done reviewing this stuff, that's where it's ending up. At the time I'm doing this, I have over 100 sub sandwich reviews on that on that playlist. And that's where number 3 comes to play, because maybe that's not enough for you. Maybe you're greedy for sub sandwich reviews. All you have to do, folks, is wait until Sunday. Why? Because Sunday is SUBday. That is my kitschy little thing that I came up with. Sunday is the day that I go over there and I upload my sub sandwich reviews. For as long as I've been doing this program, I have not missed a Sunday yet. Always going to get a sub sandwich review. But anyway, let's take a look at this thing. Open. Open. Ah. Okay. I just got a regular size one. Oh man, that does look freaking tasty, man. So let's get a thing for the let's get a thing for the thing here. It looks like a thing kind of like that. And yeah, let's give it a go. I will say, for a double portion of steak, it's not the most impressive amount of steak I would like to see. But I'm excited for the cheese whiz sauce, because I've heard tell of the cheese whiz sauce on the cheesesteaks, the proper ones. I want to be part of that experience. give it a go. That's nice. I like that a lot. Cheesesteak, very tender. Almost melts in your mouth. Really good. Not chewy at all. Very flavorful. Definitely seasoned well. And juicy too. I'm not gonna lie, that's hitting real hard right now. This is like my first proper meal that I've had in over a week. And mind you, I've been eating and stuff, but for over a week, I was like sick and I couldn't taste anything. You know, my sinuses were too clogged up. So this is like my first like real proper food outing for a while. I missed it. But no, that's super tasty. The Cheese Whiz sauce is really nice. It's got a nice, cheesy taste to it, obviously. But there's also like a little bit of a tanginess to it. And I appreciate the fact that, because when I think Cheese Whiz, I think the stuff that, you press on the thing and you put it on Ritz crackers and it's not actually proper cheese. Even the inventor of Cheese Whiz was like, they did a thing with him and he's like, yeah, no, the stuff that they use now is not what I invented back in the day. But yeah, I like that it's a sauce, but it does have like a Cheese Whiz character to the flavor. Not in a bad way though, but like the way the cheese carries. It's not trying to be pompous. It's not trying to be like, ooh, I'm a foofy cheese. It's like, I'm fucking Cheese Whiz sauce. Love me. Or don't. I don't care. No, I mean, that's really good. The sauteed onions. I've mentioned this a number of times now. I'm not a big onion guy. For most of my life, I've stayed away from onions as a general rule. I like onion rings, I like French onion soup. But just on things in general, it's not my go-to move. I just don't like it that much. But since doing these reviews, sauteed onions have definitely come around on me. And I would in fact say that, yeah, I'm going to call myself a fan of some sauteed onions. And these are nice ones too, like, they've been properly sauteed, so they're not like intrusive. They've got that sort of caramelization, gives a little extra depth to the flavor and just gives some added dimension to the overall experience. The cheese and the steak could be just perfectly fine by itself, but having that added element, it just gives it that something extra, helps elevate it a little bit, bring it to that next level. This is really good. The bread is nice too. They lightly toasted it. I mean, I would never say that Charleys has like fantastic bread or anything, but it's more than competent for what it needs to do. Like, it's not bad bread. So, I mean, for me personally, folks, that was a rather delightful experience. Better than I was expecting. And I've reviewed a bunch of stuff from Charleys at this point. Usually I do one of their signature cheesesteaks, like their monthly cheesesteak kind of thing. But I wanted to go back to their actual, just their normal menu items. And I'm really glad I got this one. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes. Now, folks, I'm not going to go over here and say, it's the greatest cheesesteak in the history. It's almost certainly not, And I mentioned before in previous reviews of cheesesteak variety, I've never been to Philly, the actual proper homeland of the cheesesteak. I just make do with what I can here in Illinois. But I do think what we have available to us in some capacity is not terrible. Again, probably doesn't stack up to the original stuff, but Charleys, for what they are, I do think they make some good cheesesteaks. And honestly, I think in terms of, some of their other ones are kind of wacky and they have different elements to them and stuff. I like that this is a more bare bones one. I like that, again, at least in theory, it's probably a little bit closer to sort of the original stuff, the Philly stuff. And it's a simple mess of delicious flavors. It's really tasty. I would honestly say that I think that this is probably one of my favorite cheesesteaks I've had from them. And if I'm recommending it, if you're going to Charleys for a cheesesteaks, again, if you're not fortunate enough to live in the Philly area or have, just a really proper cheesesteak spot nearby, Charleys will get you through in a pinch. It's not going to be the best, that there's ever been, but in terms of, especially for a chain location type place, like I would say their cheesesteaks are definitely better than, like your average sub shop cheesesteak. Uh, and I would say that the old school it's just, again, there's no frills to it. It's not going over there and trying to, wheel and deal on you. It's just cheesesteak, cheese sauce, sauteed onions. Fuck you, love it. And I did. So I would definitely recommend it. I think it's a really good one. Final five things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly cheesesteak-tastic rest of your life. Because, come on, man, cheesesteaks are good. Not as good as, say like an Italian beef. Starting some shade. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's my question to you, right? I'm posing this one to you. When it comes to a cheesesteak, if you enjoy them, if they're your thing, what's your take on it? Are you more traditional about it? Do you have a favorite spot? Do you like the frills? Do you like, the more niche ones, that some places come out with and stuff? Because, I've had, like I said, I've, had quite a few Charleys stuff, and I do like some of their signature flavors that they do, and I've, some of the other ones that they've come up with. But, man, I've got to say, man, that classic is a classic for a reason, it hits in a special way. So I'd be interested to hear what you find folks have to say. Please feel free to hit me in the comments. I always appreciate it. Anyway.